kings and queens, and welcome back to my channel. I first want to say thank you for clicking on the video because you didn't have to, but I'm so glad that you did. This video is all about saying no, and I know that can be a little confusing at first, but I'm going to explain it to you. I'm here to tell you that it is okay to say no when someone asks you to do something. I'm not saying that you should start going around and being selfish and saying no when anyone needs help. But sometimes people take advantage of you because they know that you're going to always say yes. They may lay it on thick, give the whole pity party, play the victim, or just play on your empathy, your sympathy, or just your kindness. And sometimes we get caught up in always saying yes that we neglect ourselves. I think it's okay to be selfish every once in a while. If the same people always asking you for money or always asking you for a favor, or can you do this or can you do that, because they know in the back of their minds that you're going to say yes, you need to switch it up a little bit and say no. It is okay to think of yourself first. Because if you are not taken care of, if you're not taking care of yourself, how can you truly, honestly take care of somebody else or help someone else? If you are depleting all of your resources, all of your energy, all of your mental health, all of your clarity, always saying yes to someone, then how can you step back and honestly be taking care of yourself? Now, I know, you're supposed to give of yourself, and be kind. And I'm not saying not to do that. But I'm saying you need to have self-preservation. And, that will involve you saying no to some people and hurting someone's feeling, or having them look at you a certain way, like, well, you never said no before, or you've changed. And yeah, you have, because now you're thinking of yourself and your well-being. You have to take that time to self-reflect on what you're doing. If you're always helping someone and you're feeling depleted, or you're feeling used or just taken advantage of, then you need to go with your gut feelings. You need to go with what your body and your mind is trying to tell you. You need to step back, recalibrate, or whatever you want to say, and then you can come back out, and then you can continue to help people. You need to recharge your batteries just like any other machine. And I say machine because I do think of sometimes the human body as a machine. You have to give it fuel, you have to let it rest, you have to let it recharge. And if you're always on the go and always doing and going and going and going, how are you going to maintain health or running at your top performance? What I really can suggest is, if you really want to say no, then say no. You got to trust your gut. Don't say yes to something when you really want to say no. Oftentimes we have this thing called the disease to please. And that's where we just don't want to come off seeming like we are a jerk or an a-hole or just mean. And even you can be the nicest person in the world, and you're going to still have someone thinking that you are a jerk. It could just be something about you, the way you carry yourself, your hair, the way you sound, or the fact that you are just too nice. Some people just don't trust that. So don't worry about what other people are thinking. If you want to say no, I'm giving you permission to say no. If no one else is giving you permission to say no, then I am giving you permission to say no. It is okay. I don't have a list of ways that you can say no to someone or anything like that. But my advice is to just use the word no. And if you have to go into like a big, long, drawn out detail, I would suggest you not do that. But if you have to give an explanation on why you're saying no, keep it short and sweet and keep it honest. You just don't want to. You've had a long day, you're tired, you don't feel like doing anything that weekend, or you have a lot on your plate right now and you need to take care of that first before you can add anything else to your plate. Just, be honest and truthful. Don't come up with some elaborate story or make something up involving a sick grandma, a sick dad, or anything like that. Keep it honest. You just don't want to. Another thing that I would try to have you avoid is the let me think about it, let me sleep on it. Don't set yourself up for that person to come right back and ask you the same question, because you're not really saying no at that point. You're giving them hope, or letting them think that they can just keep pushing you and eventually you'll say yes. You have to say no and be done with it. You have to be firm in your decision. We often feel uncomfortable when we're saying no to someone, and that's because we're taught that you're supposed to share and be polite and things like that, and like I said, we just neglect ourselves. So if you feel that a person is coming on a little too strong, step back and just look at them, be firm and say no. I've said no, and that's what I mean. You have to be firm in that decision, because some people, we're like animals. If they see that they can force you into doing something, then they will. And that, I'm not saying that they are a bad person, but they're trying to get what they want. And screw how you're feeling. It's all about what they need. And you need to be like, no. This is about my feelings and how I feel at the end of the day as well. So in conclusion to my little rant today, I know I do have the tendency to ramble sometimes, but I just wanted to let you guys know that you have to practice self-preservation, self-survival. You have to take care of yourself first before you can take care of anyone else. And you also want to practice saying no as a way of not being taken advantage of. And that's real easy to do when you have that disease to please and you don't want to come off seeming like a jerk. I don't think you're coming off seeming like a jerk if you're just taking that time to evaluate the situation. Has this person always asked you for help, or always ask you for something, and they don't ever help you when you need help? You have to look at, who you're helping too, because some people like to push off their responsibility or make their life easier while making your life more difficult. I'm not saying that's their ultimate goal, but anything to make their life easier, they'll do. So you have to, pay attention of who's always asking you for help, who's asking you for help, and how often do they return that favor. So, just take care of yourself. I made this channel just to inspire people to take better care of themselves, to be happier in their life, and to find the balance. And if you're always saying yes to something, then you have no balance. You have to say no sometimes too, to balance out things. So until next time, guys, be blessed.